So the FBI has officially started their on-scene investigation. I can also confirm that investigators are in the suspect's neighborhood as we speak, knocking on doors and questioning his neighbors about what they may know about him. But still, as of right now, little is known about Thomas Matthew Crooks. The FBI says that they're still looking for a motive as to why he did this, and I think that sounds ridiculous. I mean, the dude tried to assassinate Donald Trump. I think we all know what the motive is. I mean, what type of motive do they think they're going to uncover? I mean, you can look online every single day and watch people having complete meltdowns about Donald Trump. I think we know what the motive is here. But like I said, very little information out there about this guy. And I cover these type of stories all the time. I don't cover presidential assassinations that often, okay, or attempted ones. But we cover all types of crazy stuff that happens, in schools, all those mass events, crazy events. We cover them. Every single time I am able to locate or find or uncover social medias that belong to the suspects involved in those cases. There has not been a single case that I have covered where I was not able to find, old social media posts and old pictures and what have you of the suspects involved in those cases. In this situation, maybe I'm missing something, but I cannot find much on the suspect. I cannot find much out there about Thomas Matthew Crooks. A 20-year-old, and I can't find much on social media. And that is so rare. Like I said, I'm not going to sit here and act as if I'm an expert, but I've been doing this for a little while now. I've covered dozens of stories, similar to this one, where crazy situations pop off in big crowds. You know what I mean? We cover stuff like this. You all are here watching the channel. We go through these people's social media posts all the time. In this situation, nothing. But what we do know is that the suspect did purchase a bunch of ammo hours before the Donald Trump rally. Hours before he carried out this attack, he did purchase ammo. That's about one of the only things that we know thus far. But I think that we may figure out more, but I'm not so sure that we will. I think they're going to keep a lot of this under wraps. And I think that the reason it took so long for them to name the suspect and the reason why there's so much disinformation being spread online is because they were scrubbing all of the evidence, all of the past history about this kid off the internet as people were trying to argue and figure out who was who and what was what. But also, as I've told you all before, I'm trying to collect all of the interviews from people who were there. And I've watched over a dozen of them now. All of them I find very concerning. Very concerning because it just does not make sense how all of these random people noticed the suspect, but the security personnel did not. But what I want to do is I want to go ahead and roll this clip so you can hear from another gentleman that was at the event. He has a horrific telling of events. He helped some of the people who were injured and helped the person who is no longer with us. So I'm going to roll this clip and then I'll be right back with more thoughts.
Joining me this morning, Rico Elmore, Republican candidate for Pennsylvania State Congress, who spoke before President Trump took the stage Saturday. Rico, thank you so much for joining us. The first question I have for you is, are you okay? How are you feeling this morning?
I thank you very much, and my prayers go out to the family, those that are involved. And I'm feeling as best as you can. After having and seeing a horrific incident, it's a shock. It's a shock to almost anyone I can think of.
We understand you were just feet away from the president when those shots rang out. Chaos ensued. We've all seen that video many, many times. You're there. What went through your mind?
The first and foremost thing, as we all know, President has Secret Service to his protection. The people that are there, they're looking for protection. My first inclination was to make sure everybody that was safe. So immediately when I heard the shots, when I realized that these are gunshots that are being fired, I turned around and yelled for everyone to get down, and they called for a medic. And I seen that there wasn't there wasn't medical personnel identified in the near area. So I ran over as fast as I could over the barrier to assist a wounded individual who I come to find out who passed.
Rigo, you're a hero. The fact that you didn't think about your own safety and ran over to try to help somebody else. You were one of the speakers at the rally, like I mentioned. Now, a few hours later, we're all still processing what happened. Again, you're feet away. You stood in that same spot where former President Trump was shot just a few minutes before. What are you thinking this morning?
Everyone's been saying I'm a hero, but I just did what I felt was a necessity to protect the people, to get people out. That was what I was. That's all I can think about. I seen kids, I seen families, some people that were scared, and my thought process was, if I can be a voice, if I can be a beacon for them to look to get them moving, that's what I wanted to do. And like I said, once again, my prayers go out to everyone affected, and especially the family of the deceased and the injured. I know it's a traumatic experience right now, and I pray that you can find comfort and peace. It's going to be a trying time, but I pray.
You went to help someone else, coming in physical contact with another victim. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? You mentioned no medical personnel was around. What happened next?
Just out of respect to the families and what occurred when I approached the barrier, you can just see the terror on people's face, calling for the medic. And as I couldn't pull the barrier up because there were people laying on the barrier. So the only option was to go over the barrier, and I just hopped over it, and I ran up into the stands to see an individual that was there laying face down. There was another individual there who I believe was a doctor just in the stands, and he was there assisting. I jumped in, I helped him as well. I held the gentleman's head who was hit, and just the traumatic shock of just holding his head and being there to try to help in some form or fashion was traumatic in itself. And then also after medical personnel got there, and it was all quick. It wasn't like a slow incident. It was fast. Medical personnel got there. They got him out of there. And then I just turned to see another lady who had passed out. No one knew what happened. They thought she might have been hit as well. But we were able to get her out of there. We couldn't get her up. So I just threw her on my arm. Another individual helped me on the other side. We picked her up. Someone grabbed her feet. We ushered her out of there. We got her to medical personnel. And after that, we just started to get everyone out. State police said, "Yeah, we got to get people out of here." And the only thing I can do was jump into action. As a speaker for the day, I guess people may have thought that I was a leader or whatever they thought, but they listened. They were receptive of what I was saying. But I tell you, looking into the face of the children that were there, I just witnessed this. For me to be inches from their face saying, it's going to be okay, it's going to be okay, I need you to keep moving. And they go, and mothers and fathers, aunts and uncles just being succumbed by the violence that was there, and worried about their safety. It was. I don't wish this upon anybody else.
Go ahead and elect this guy. he handled himself in a way that I wish more politicians would. And I've heard from other people who were at the event who say that, yeah, he was out there fearlessly helping people. So I'm glad that in moments like this, we do get stories like this where you see that there is still good in people. Yes, there is evil out there. Yes, there are people who want Donald Trump dead. There are people who want you and me dead as well. But there are good people out there still willing to help their neighbors, still willing to help strangers. And I think that we got to take the positive when we can get it, and that's a positive thing. But this story just keeps on getting crazier. And from the looks of things, Donald Trump does not plan on canceling certain events. In fact, he says that he's going to announce his pick for vice president today. And I'm sitting here wondering, like, are they going to be safe? Because, I mean, you just got shot, like, the day before yesterday. Now you're announcing your vice president, and I'm scared. I'm scared that something else is going to happen. And it's not like I'm scared about the possibility of something else happening. I'm scared because I know, like, it's a fact. You know what I mean? I don't view it as a possibility. I view it as a fact that they're going to try something else. They haven't stopped trying stuff. They're going to try something else. So I'm scared about that. And, you know, I think that we need to start having open conversations about this stuff, because this rally, what happened at the rally is a tipping point in our country. And it doesn't matter if you don't want to involve yourself in politics or what have you. Trust me, I would like to not involve myself in any of this either. But when ish hits the fan, ish hits the fan. And burying your head in the sand like an ostrich isn't going to help anything. Now, Donald Trump actually released a statement earlier about RFK Jr. And even in a time like this, he is calling for, I don't know if you could call RFK Jr. his political rival, I guess you could, but he is calling for more security for RFK Jr. because RFK has been saying that he needs security as well. He needs Secret Service details as well, and they've been refusing to help him. And, you know, we all know what happened to JFK, right? I don't want to get into that, but I think we know what happened to JFK. So I'm scared for anyone. I'm scared for anyone and everyone with a platform that is willing to speak out against some of the crazy stuff that they're trying to push right now. And the other day it showed us how far they're willing to go to silence us and to stop their opposition. So take note, and understand what's actually happening here. There's memes, we can laugh. There's cool pictures of Donald Trump fist pumping. Yeah, I admit that's an iconic photo, but understand how serious this is. Understand that this can change your life forever, regardless of who you vote for, who you like, who you hate. We are one action away from this country spiraling into something that we've never seen before. But for now, let me know your thoughts about all of this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.